Good morning and welcome to Mount Vernon Unitarian Church. My name is Phyllis Gilmore and I am a member of this congregation. Our church is offering our Sunday services both in person and virtually. Whether you are here in the chapel or joining us from home, you are welcome. We gather to recommit ourselves to the mission of this church, to support one another in our spiritual journeys, to work for justice, to care for the earth, and to build the common good. It is good to be together. And I have some announcements. So the first, I've been told the most important announcement is that next Saturday, December 6th at 10 a.m., there's going to be a little holiday celebration here involving a cookie exchange, coat collection, which the coats will go to Kennedy's Shelter and Rising Hope, and crafts that will involve making graham cracker houses and ornaments for our tree. Second one is the following day after church on December 7th. Reverend Dave will be hosting a luncheon for new people, new members, new visitors. That will be in the Hall and Hall in the dining room. Also on December 13th, there's going to be a presentation from the Native Plant Circle on creating wildlife habitat in your backyard. And then there's a holiday blood drive coming on December 20th. And it's been a long time, but apparently we're doing it here. And it's a good time of year to be donating blood. And for medical reasons, I can't do it anymore. So I need for you people to pitch in and do it. And there is an information meeting about the school leases tomorrow evening at 7 p.m., either online or here. So, I'm going to have to get back to the script. I invite you now to take a deep breath with me as we enter into a time of worship.
Our chalice lighting this morning are words by Katie Sivani Gelfland. We light our chalice as a symbol of gratitude as we celebrate the abundance of our lives together. In this sanctuary, we harvest bushels of strength for one another and offer our crop with the hands of compassion and generosity. In the authentic and gentle manner of our connections, we cultivate a simple sweetness to brighten our spirits. May we be grateful for the ways we nourish and uplift each other, for it is the sharing of this hallowed time together that sustains us. I would invite you to rise in body or in spirit to sing our opening hymn, number 38, Morning Has Broken. Folks online, you can sing very loudly.
Like the first morning, blackbird has flown.
in a moment invite any of our young folks who are up here, actually any of you who feel like they need a little movement today, because our time for all ages is a gratitude freeze dance. That's right. We're going to move. We're going to dance a little bit this morning. Victor's going to be in charge of this, so we don't know what will happen. The idea here is we're exercising our brains, our bodies, and our hearts together. It would be a bit of music. So Victor gets to decide when to stop playing, and as soon as he stops playing, we freeze whatever position we're in. If you can hold it, if you can't, you can get comfortable. But the idea is to then shout out something you are grateful for. All right? And then Victor's going to play a little bit more, and we're going to move a little bit, and then he's going to stop. We don't know when. And then we're going to shout out things that we are grateful for. And I think you've got one more. Then you'll do one more phrase, right, to finish us out. And when he finishes, we're all going to shout together something we are grateful for. All right, are you ready? Are you awake enough for that? You've had your morning beverage? All right, so I'm gonna grab a microphone down here. Anybody who would like to join me, we're gonna meet in the center aisle here, right between the stands. Bless you all for playing along. I'm just gonna say that before we start as an encouragement. Here we go. Can you move and think of a word at the same time? Yeah. All right. Be aware of your surroundings. We don't want any injuries this morning. All right, you ready? Ready? Thank you so much. If you can, take a little deep breath. And we can come back to our seats for just a moment. Victor, thank you so much. Well done. All right. Too short? I'll know that for next time. Shiver shake. I got to get my breath back here. All right. Let us continue our gratitude practice as we're grateful for democracy and freedom and family and pie and pets. But we can do it a little more sedately. If you are carrying a joy or sorrow and would like to express it in the sanctuary of this community, I invite you to come forward to light a candle. Please form 2 lines down the center aisle and return to your seats by the side aisles. Those of you attending online, light a candle if you have one, or join us all in listening to some beautiful music from Victor.
We come now to the morning offering. Mount Vernon Unitarian Church continues to share the plate with committed organizations that you, our members, have chosen. During the month of November, our offering is shared with Arcadia Center for Sustainable Food and Agriculture. Arcadia is a nonprofit organization rooted in the National Capital Region. Its mission is to cultivate vibrant regional food systems that build the health of our land, food, and communities from the farm forward. Grounded in equity and guided by history, it is creating sustainable, just, and regenerative solutions to food access and food sovereignty. I invite this gathered community to offer whatever you are most comfortable with in spirit and financial generosity to Arcadia and for the mission of our church community. Will the ushers please come forward at this time?
Invite you into a time of meditation. It's a working meditation, just going to tell you that right now. Because the song we'll sing next, the hymn we'll sing next, is a very simple tune, but it can be very powerful. And I wanted to put some motion with this. So we'll do the meditation and learn those motions. And then if you'd like, as we're singing, you can use those same things. I know there are as many ways to sign each of these words as there are people in this room, given nuances of meaning and the language of American Sign Language. So I did my best, lots of research and practice. So let's begin. If you want to join me, if what you want to do is sit with your hands in your lap as we begin this, that is fine. That is fine. So as we keep in the spirit of gratitude this season. We'll begin by remembering that we receive gratitude, and receive can be this, fingers spread out, hands up about here, thumbs toward your heart, and then draw your hands toward your chest and your fingertips together. So receive. Receive. All right. And then because we give gratitude, fingertips together with the open space in your palm like this, and then from your heart toward someone else, give. So keep that space open for the gratitude to live. Give. Together, fists together, thumbs at the top, and circle from left to right, right at your belly. Together. Share. Now this is a choice here. Your non-dominant hand, so the hand that you don't use for writing or something. 4 fingers stacked, thumb up, all perpendicular. And your dominant hand, the same configuration, but sweep that hand back and forth. Share. See how we're giving and receiving there? Share. And then live, or in this case, alive, to be alive. So I have kind of loose fists, not real tight. Thumbs up right at heart, and then toward your shoulders, upward and outward. Alive. Alive. Well done. All right, let's try that again. And then we'll just do the motion silently twice. And then I'll invite you into the hymn. All right. Receive is fingertips in. Receive. Give. Give. Together. Together. Share. Alive. All right, and once more silently, here we go. Let's thank you. So I invite you now to sing our meditative hymn number 402. We'll sing it through twice. And if you'd like, you do these motions. I'm going to try it. So. Blessed be. And here we are. When I first moved to a small farm in central western Maryland 20 years ago now, there was a house, mostly, a barn, a creek running through the property, 2 ponds, a spring house, and 4 old apple trees. My spouse had plans: vineyard of native grapes, heirloom fruit trees, vegetable garden, berry patches, nut trees, sheep, chickens. But I was intrigued most by those old apple trees. The first year we lived there, the long neglected trees produced a few insect-bitten apples. We culled enough to make a small batch of cider and a couple of pies, maybe some applesauce, not sure. But I felt called to return that gift. So on a bitterly cold winter solstice morning, I bundled up and wandered out with a jar of cider and wassailed those trees. Wassail from the Old Norse and Old English washail, be in good health. I gave each tree a sip of the cider made from their own apples. I'm sure the neighbors thought nothing of all that. Hail to thee, old apple tree, I sang and sang and sang, and laid hands on the trunks and breathed my gratitude for the gift of those lovely apples. The next year, our harvest was 3 times as much. One of those trees, already old when we moved in 20 years ago, is still producing apples. The vision of a small, working, sustainable, and subsistence-providing farm that my then spouse had came into being. Yes, chickens and sheep and a vineyard of native grapes and other heirloom fruit trees and a nut tree orchard and a coppice and yeah, all there. And the gifts from the earth continued to go round and round and round. When I read Robin Wall Kimmerer's words years later, I felt a deep connection to those works that she did. She wrote, "Acknowledging the gifts you've received creates a sense of abundance. The knowing that you already have what you need, everything that makes our lives possible, the splints for baskets, roots for medicine, the trees whose bodies make our homes, and the pages for our newspapers. All of that is provided by the lives of more than human beings." She wrote, "When we speak of these not as things, but as gifts, our whole relationship to the natural world changes." Kimmerer talks and writes often of a gift economy as opposed to a market economy. The gift economy is based on relationship with the earth, the natural world, with the people around you, your neighbors and relations, rather than exchange of money for goods. That is the market economy. We're pretty familiar with the market economy, especially right now. However, in her picture book, Bud finds her gift. This is lovely, by the way. Good Christmas present. Kimmerer names 3 ways of finding gifts, 3 ways of appreciating gifts, and 4 ways of giving gifts. I'll share all those pieces in a moment, but what I love about this gentle story is the way Bud's Nokomis, but the Potawatomi word for grandmother, Nokomis, is grandmother, models this kind of gratitude for Earth's gifts and gifts of relationship with others and with nature. She invites Bud on a morning walk to do something important because Bud was feeling a bit left out, watching the hustle and bustle of her family, all doing important jobs, and the busy world around her. And in a local park near where they live, standing under a tree on a hilltop, Nokomis raises her arms, saying, "Good morning, morning. Thank you for the gift of this day. Thank you, birds and trees and dew and flowers. Thank you for all the gifts we are given." That's the way to start a day. Clements reminds Bud that Bud is really good at noticing. Anybody out there really good at noticing? Are you rock hounds, so you spot the shiny one? Are you the one who spots the tiny track of something that came before you walked on that path? Are you good at noticing that leaf that just fell from the tree right into your feet? Nokomis encourages Bud to spend the next few days doing just that. Really noticing. Really noticing. She notices, as she's outside, she notices closely how the air smells. I noticed this morning as I walked out and the snow was falling. Yes, it smells like snow. You know what snow, or the impending snow smells like? The air is different. She notices how a piece of fruit really tastes, how the plants feed the animals and the animals feed the plants, how the wind sends whispers of pollen to plants farther away, round and round. And Bud remembers that she, too, has gifts to offer, young as she is. The gifts of hands and knees to kneel and create a garden. The gift of relationship to invite neighbors and friends to plant, care, pick, and share the harvest, and to speak up for the environment. Bud practiced what her Nokomis modeled, found her gifts, and shared them. So here are the key ways that Kimmerer encourages us to find and give our gifts. So finding gifts, after all our movement this morning, one is to practice stillness and notice. Notice. Use all your senses. We still have them. Maybe we're not as good as our cat or our dog with the smells, but we can work on that. And notice everything. Everything, not just what is right in front of you. I'm really good at that, what's right in front of me. But what's out here? What might be back there? Appreciating gifts by studying the natural world. What are the cycles and the rhythms of the natural world? How do squirrels get through the winter? No, really, how do squirrels get through the winter? I've watched them in my backyard. They keep burying things and then they can't remember where. Not that I ever do that. Read. Read more. Read more. Talk with your elders. All of you, talk with your elders. Talk with your younglings. And in giving gifts, care for the gift, for the earth that provided it, for the person who you give to, the person you receive from. Share your gifts, whatever they are, and you have them, every one of you. Ask questions. In a you church? What? Yes. And say, thank you. Thank you. Our own Unitarian Universalist faith calls us to generosity and reminds us of our interdependent connections with this earth and with all the beings on it. Sometimes we forget as we grow up that we need to ground ourselves in the wonder of the world around us. We are better when we remember and practice. Just the other day, I looked out the window at a flurry of what I thought were giant snowflakes, and I said, I'm not ready. It happened again this morning, and I was ready. And then I realized that what they were the milkweed seeds from my front garden being lifted and flown to new flowering places by the wind. You're welcome, neighbors. Yeah, I may have giggled a little bit when I noticed these big, fluffy very best things about being a religious educator is the near daily reminders of that kind of wonder and simple joy. I want to share something that we did earlier this month in our RE classes, a game where we had to use our imaginations to think of ways to approach a setback with gratitude rather than frustration. I know, what? Gratitude rather than frustration. We did talk about how being frustrated isn't a bad reaction at all, but that sometimes we need to think differently about how we react. Our younglings were so thoughtful and creative with this game. It was beautiful. I wanted to invite you all into the practice. So, could I get a volunteer to choose a scenario for all of us right out here? Anybody want to come out? Grab one? I'll come down. All right. Now, look around, find one or two other people to share with, and I'll time you. We'll have like 2 whole minutes that you can talk to each other about this, so it's okay. So here is your scenario. So once you've had your couple of minutes, then I'll have you share a little bit, and I'll repeat them into the mic here. You ready? You're told no when you really want something. I'm doing this under the Bible. How can you reframe that with gratitude? Discuss, please. hear a few ideas. What did you come up with? A way to approach the you're told no when you really want something. How do you reframe that with gratitude? say it. You can just stay there and say it, and I'll try to repeat it.
My daughter-in-law gets this saying, things happen for a reason.
Ah.
And we were discussing this in reference to getting a job or not getting a job,
Mm-hmm.
that perhaps it was not as good a fit as you thought it was, and then later you get something that's a better fit for you.
So things happen for a reason, and like in relationship to a job, like if you may not get that job, but maybe that means something else that's a better fit comes along later. All right, okay. Miss Jan?
I'd be grateful because I'd be able to repose my question somehow.
Ah, be grateful to be able to repose the question. Maybe it wasn't clear. Harper? So maybe you could go back and think if you already had something today that was a yes, yeah, and that might make it more equal, yeah. Good, good. So again, frustration is not a bad thing, but sometimes if we can reframe and think of gratitude, we can change our own reactions a little bit, or we can slow them down a little bit sometimes. That's important too. Instead of that instant have you ever done that? Yes. Disappointment and all that, but reframe. Thank you for playing along. This is available. This is one of our lesson plans, and there are cards and instructions available. I will post them in the Windmill. I'll have that in the Windmill Weekly next week because it's a really good multi-generational game. Many of the questions are kind of like things about shoes that don't fit and stuff like that. So you may have to come up with your own scenarios more fitting for your life, but you know you've also had the shoe thing happen. No matter what your age. Your favorite shoe has a hole in the toe. What you gonna do? Duct tape. Yeah. You all get the idea. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for practicing, and thank you for changing the world, one wonder at a time. I want to close with the simple song that ends Bud's picture book story. Nokomis asks Bud to listen again with your heart. What do you hear? Bud listened. It was as if everyone, she says, including the robin, the moss, and, I'm going to use this word, even the little poop from the robin that ate strawberries and gave the seeds back to the earth, because that happens too, right? We're grateful for that, because it's really uncomfortable when it doesn't happen. Everything was singing. And this is what Bud heard. Everyone from the day of their birth was given a gift to share with the earth. You will know that your gift is true when you hear the earth be thankful for you. May we take these small gratitudes today and spread them wide, ever-growing circles of thanks and giving. Amen. Blessed be, and thank you. Will you rise in body or in spirit and sing together hymn number 1010. That's in your teal hymnal. We give thanks. It has one verse. Let's sing it through twice, just to be sure, and then remain standing for the covenant.
Please remain standing as we unite our voices to speak aloud, thank you, the covenant of our community. These words are known both within our hearts and they're in our order of service. Love is the teaching of this church. The quest of truth is its daily task, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve life in community, to the end that all souls shall grow in harmony. This is our covenant with each and with all. Now please join me in saying the words we use each week to extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Our benediction is a blessing by Reverend Sandra Fees. This is in one of the packets that she created called Practice Matters. So here's a blessing to carry with you. May you rise in the morning and greet the dawn with a grateful heart. Throughout the day, may you accept the simple gifts that arise: food, shelter, water, sunshine, rain, with a grateful heart. Snow too, okay. May you greet others whose paths you cross with that same gratefulness.